Hey, what's up, cats and kittens? And shout out to all my cerebralites. It is she, the Cerebral Diva, and I'm back with another episode of You Say What. And in today's episode of You Say What, we will be talking about the complexities of navigating the dating realm in 2018. And you guys, this is going to be a lot about my own personal experiences because it's crazy out here. I'm telling you, it is crazy. And I just felt compelled to really come and talk to you guys about some of the things that I've been going through. You know, very often people will ask me, well, why are you single? And they ask me that question almost like it's an allegation, like something's wrong with me, like I'm crazy. And I'll tell you the problem with me. The problem is I know my value, I know my self worth, and I refuse to settle. And I'm so sick of men who don't have their stuff together, who expect for you to treat them like Humpty Dumpty and put them back together again. I just don't have time for it. If you come to me broken, you leave broken. I'm not like Gorilla Glue. I don't have time to put the pieces back together. That's your job. So there seems to be an abundance of that type of guy out there in the world. And then they vilify you as a black woman for having standards. They make it seem like you're angry or hostile because I don't want you, coming to me. You don't have a car, you don't have an education, and not even being educated. Because let me take education off the table. Because when I talk about education, I'm not even talking about sort of having these educational credentials, a bachelor's degree, a master's, a PhD, what have you. Sometimes intelligence is just it's in the way that you resolve problems. It's in the way that you navigate through the world. Like I've dated guys before, excuse me, who would rather not apply to jobs that drug test than to quit smoking weed. That's dumb to me. That's dumb because weed is not going to sustain you. A job is. If one thing needs to be put on hold, it's the weed, not the jobs that you're applying for. So when I'm talking about intelligence, I don't want you guys to think that I'm some sort of intellectual snob who's judging people based on their educational level. Because you can be educated, you can have a master's and a PhD and still be a dummy too. You're still making dumb decisions and dumb choices. So having that doesn't necessarily qualify you as being intelligent. So I just want to make that distinction so people know that when I'm talking about intelligence, I'm not just talking about, the ability to read, to write, to spell, to resolve math problems. I'm talking about a comprehensive encapsulation of all things, emotional intelligence. Because guys do some dumb things, right? And so I said this before in my previous video too. I'm gonna try to stop making this a gender thing about guys versus girls. People do some dumb things because there's some dumb women out there too. So, case in point, Rashida and most of the women on Love and Hip Hop who are just, I don't know, it's a whole other video. So that's what I'm talking about when I say intelligence. So now I want to get back on track here because I will go off on that tangent. I'm telling you, I'll be gone for a while. But anyhow, I was seeing this guy, and super smart, as I was saying before. And when I'm talking about he was smart, it was scholastically. He was really, really smart, very, very educated, very accomplished. A lot of the things that I look for, he brought to the table. But he wasn't consistent. Like I said, he would text me and not respond until 24 hours later, even if your response was instant to his, because I tested it. I wanted to see if he responded to me and I responded instantly, would he respond? Like, dude, you haven't even had enough time to put this phone down. So I know that you saw my message. So at that point, rather than getting angry, rather than getting in my feelings about the fact that he wasn't responding to my text messages, what I decided to do was match his energy. If you don't text me for 24 hours, I might not text you back for 24 to 48 hours. Now, some people might say that that's being petty or tit for tat, and to some degree, I suppose it is. But what I think is smart about it is that you're matching the energy of the person that you're dealing with. Anytime you give more than you get, at some point you're going to wind up feeling cheated. So, in the beginning stages and at the inception of the relationship, if I have the opportunity to recognize that there's a deficiency someplace, and I can make up for that deficiency by recalibrating my own personal actions, that's what I want to do. So that's what I did. I just sort of scaled back the way that I communicated with him. Excuse me. So one day he texted me at like 2:49 in the morning, And he's like, hey, what are you doing? And so I text him back, maybe at, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes later. And because the text message woke me from my sleep, I text him back and I said, lying down. And he did not respond until like the following day. What the hell are you texting me for at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, and then not responding to me until the following day? What are you doing? So I'm a critical thinker, so my brain goes into overdrive. So immediately I start thinking to myself, okay, well, if he texts me at 2:50, was I part of a mass text? Was he just reaching out to multiple women, seeing who got back first, and I happened to be like the fifth person who responded to him, so therefore he did not respond to my text message? This is the way my brain operates because I know men. So I'm saying to myself, why would you text me at this hour and then not respond? It's just rude as far as I'm concerned. So in that moment when I texted him, when he woke me from my sleep, text me asking me what I'm doing, and I text you back and you don't respond, okay, I'm done, bro. So that pissed me off. So when he texts me again, so I decided not to text him anymore after that. So then when he texts me again, I basically said, look, find someone else who who is comfortable with being treated like an object of convenience, because I'm not that girl. This is sort of the a basically what I was saying to him. Look, I'm not the girl. You need to elevate or leave me alone. So he didn't respond to it, and I'm like, okay, he chose to leave me alone. I'm good with that. Doesn't matter to me. So about a day after that, he texted me and said, "But I really like you, and I enjoy spending time with you. But how do you feel about basically me seeing someone else, or me being with someone else?" So it sounded like to me, and this is when I started drawing all of these different conclusions, that oh, now it makes sense. This is why he's not responding. He's married and he has a wife and a family elsewhere, and he's trying to um, basically induce me into sort of this secondary relationship. And so at that point, I said, "Look, I don't do number two. Find someone else, once again, who is okay with being number two. That's not me. I'm not that girl. I'm not into sharing. I might share my money, my home, my food. I'm not sharing my food. I actually can't eat off my plate. I'm not into that sort of thing. Uh, I might give you a bite, but yeah, you have to use a clean fork. Uh, so I'm not. So no, I'm not into sharing. It's just not my thing. I'm not sharing the person that I'm with. And I always, when people come up with this whole thing about polyamory, and this is really sort of what I wanted to talk about in this video. It's about sharing your emotions, sharing your body, sharing your feelings, your love, sharing your energy with multiple people. Maybe it's become an antiquated thing, and maybe it's something I need to grow past. I'm not sure if that's true or not, but I like keeping an open mind about most things. I really try not to be so grounded in my beliefs that I can't see things from another person's perspective, because there's more than one way to skin a cat. Excuse me, you guys. So I essentially just told him no, I wasn't interested. And he, in spite of that, now he's texting me like a crazy person, back to back to back, because I told him I'm not interested. So now that I'm not interested, he texted me all last night, he texted me this morning. And so I'm like, this is so bizarre to me that now suddenly, because I don't want to give you what you want, now you're going full throttle. Why? Why? Why not just put your best foot forward at the very beginning? So he's asking me to be in this polyamorous relationship. Now I don't know if he already has existing partners, or if he's looking to add existing partners to the fold. I'm not quite sure exactly what he's looking to do. A, because I have absolutely no interest in finding out, and B, because yeah, good luck with that. So so he put that offer to me on the table. He said, it's not about you being number two, because I really, really like you, but I just want to be able to see other people. Now, this is where I'm going to play devil's advocate for a minute, right? And as much as I'm turned off by what he's asked me to do, when I think about it, how many times I've been in polyamorous relationships without knowing I've been in polyamorous relationships, if you understand what I mean. So I've dated men who have been serial cheaters. You know what I mean? They've been gone this woman, that woman, that woman. You know what I mean? So you sometimes you're in a polyamorous relationship and you're just not privy to that information. He is. He knows what's going on. And then here you are being Susie Homemaker, washing, cleaning, folding clothes, and, trying to be wifey and doing all the things that you feel a good woman or man should do. Guys, flip the script, based on women who date women, guys who date guys, guys who date girls. However you need to flip this, apply it to your own individual life. So here you are doing all the things that you feel are the right things to do. And he is completely discounting you, devaluing you by lying to you and not giving you the option to make your own choice. So when I remove my own personal judgments from what this man asked me to do, and I see it from that perspective and saying, look, this man is coming to you, laying it all out on the table, saying, look, this is who I am, this is what I want, make a choice. There's a certain level of respect I have to have for that. Now, I'm not saying that I'm ready to be in a polyamorous relationship. I don't think I'm emotionally mature enough to be in a polyamorous relationship. I think that takes a lot of emotional maturity. Believe it or not, I think it takes a lot of restraint, a lot of emotional restraint from not reacting and feeling. I don't know. I don't know what you would feel in a polyamorous relationship. Everything that I speak about is speculative just because I've never been in that particular situation. But I know what it feels like to be cheated on and to find that out, and excuse me, at the 11th hour that the person that you thought that you were with is not remotely close to the person you believe them to be. And I know the pain and the angst that you feel when something like that happens. And so the more and more I think about the offer that he presented to me, and do not fret, people. I'm not going to be in a polyamorous relationship. That's just not going to happen. But there is a certain level of respect that I have for it. And so the reason I'm making this video today, I want to talk to you guys about sharing. Like, if you can share, like, if the dating is changed, like, dating is so hard in 2018. Like, people aren't, I've had guys ask me to have sex in public, guys ask me to have sex on film. I've had men are picture obsessed in 2017. I don't even show my face on YouTube. Like, in real life, if I meet you out and about, we exchange numbers, and then a few seconds later, a guy is texting me asking me for a picture for his contacts. I'll say no. No, you don't need a picture of me in your phone. I don't want to be amongst the gallery of women that you have in your phone. If we continue to communicate on a regular basis, because I don't even save men's phone numbers in my phone. The way I identify men is I'll go back and scroll through the text and say, oh, now I remember who that is. I don't save names. I don't save pictures. I don't want any of it because the chances are you won't last. So there's no point in me having to go through my contacts and trying to remember, oh, who's Jamal? Who's Marcus? Who's Ramon? Like, I don't want to have to go through and struggle to remember who people are because they weren't significant to me. So therefore, I don't add you to my contacts because you're not important to me. And vice versa, I'm not important to you. So there's no need for you to add me to your contacts. So therefore, you don't need a picture of me. So, these men are picture obsessed. Men don't have courtesy. There's absolutely no chivalry anymore. And I'm not going to even turn this about men once again because women do a lot of these same things. And a lot of the reason that a lot of these men devalue women because there are a lot of women out there who allow themselves to be devalued. And then when they come across a woman with the expectations, i.e. cerebral diva, then suddenly I'm a problem. I have an ego. I'm too stuck up. I'm too snobbish. I'm snobbish because I don't want a stranger, basically someone who's a stranger, coming to my house. No, I don't want you in my personal space. I don't know you like that, bruh. Like, if you are not interested in me, call and make a date. Guys will be like, well, I don't want to spend money. That's fine. You don't have to spend money. If it's that important to you to save a buck, I'm not even tripping. I can pay for my own lunch if that's what it comes down to. If it's that important to you, I can pay for my own movie ticket. You know, if it's that important to you to not spend money, then let's go for a walk in the park. Let's go sit and have coffee. I'll buy my own coffee. You know what? I'll do you one better. I'll buy you a coffee if it's that important. I'm not even asking for you to do this whole production. What I'm asking you to do is to take the time to get to know me as a human being. I'm not into this culture of instant gratification. You know, like even online dating, really quick. I tried online dating before, and this is the way it goes for me on online dating. And comment below if you've had a same or similar experience. When I date online, the guys will send you a message and they'll say, "Hey, what's up?" Right? And you say, "Not much. How are you?" And then they text you back, "What are you doing?" You know, I might say, "Not much. What's up with you?" And then they'll say, "Oh, I'm bored." Okay, well, get on board. Like, if you're bored, do something to get yourself on board. Don't put that in my lap. Or they'll say, "Well, what part of town do you live in?" "Oh, I live, in on the north side of Chicago." And then they'll say, "Oh, who do you live with?" So when they start asking you these questions, when they start asking you who do you live with, you know where this is going. And if you say to them, if you try to head it off at the pass and say, "Look, I'm not interested in company," they'll say, "Oh, I wasn't even asking." They'll lie and try to pretend like that's not what it was. So they'll say, "Who do you live with?" And you say, "Oh, I live by myself." "Oh, that's what's up. Do you looking for some company?" No. No. Why would I meet you online, um, and invite you into my space within 24, well, in less than 24 hours after meeting you? Like I've told guys online before, I'm like, I'm not inviting you into my personal space. That's how you wind up as an episode of the first 48. No, you cannot come into my personal space. I don't know you like that. And so, and obviously, the reason they want to come into your house is because they want to have sex with you. Now, listen, I'm not a prostitute. I don't judge people based on what they do. If you are, shout out to all my working girls, my working guys, what have you. But my point to men is this. If I was in the business, and because let me underscore what I'm going to say by this as well. There are a lot of guys online who will say, "I'm not looking for a committed relationship. I'm just basically looking to hook up with someone." Once again, that's fine. I just happen to not be that girl. I like my intercourse with a side of caring and commitment. And so if I'm going to sleep with people indiscriminately online, just because they said hello and asked me what part of town I lived in and who I lived with, if that's the only qualifications that you need to sleep with me, you should be very concerned about the fact that I'm giving you a green light to come and sleep with me. A. Now, on the flip side of that, if I'm going to have sex with a man who's telling me blatantly, "I really just want to use you for your body. I can't offer you any commitment. I don't give a damn about you." Why would I choose to sleep with men on an application for free when I can just be a prostitute, sleep with men who don't give a damn about me, and be compensated for it? You know what I mean? Like, not that I'm promoting prostitution, but I'm just saying the logic behind it is so bizarre that you think that I should just give my body away freely. When, for me being a businesswoman, I'm going to make the best business choice. And the best business choice is, why give it away on an app for free when I can get paid for it? So if I'm on a dating app and I'm looking for someone to date and to get to know, that's precisely what I'm looking to do. I'm not looking for random hookups with strangers unless Idris Elba happens to be on the app, which is highly unlikely. Um, but it's just so complicated dating in 2018. And so very often when people ask me, why am I single, I often say, sometimes I wish I wasn't so smart, because as a woman, being intelligent is a gift and a curse when it comes to dating, because a lot of these less than intelligent people out there are wiped up and booed up. But when you're able to see past the muck and mire, and when you're able to see people for who they truly are, excuse me, it's hard to turn the blind eye to it. It's hard to pretend like it's not what it is when you know exactly what it is. So I'm gonna get off my soapbox now. It felt good to vent. This is like a therapy session. So if please comment below, guys, girls, what have you. I just want to know exactly. I want to hear about your own personal experiences when it comes to dating. If my thoughts are so far fetched, please reel me back in and let me know. Um, with that being said, you guys, as always in closing, remember to live better, love harder, and please date smarter. Um, remember to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel so inclined. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again later. Have a great weekend. Bye.